it from where we're sitting, I'm sure. But the game should be underway in just a few seconds, and we're heading into the pistol round.
But just as we straight go into the pistol round, I want to hear your prediction, NATO. What are you saying? Each map, win. Who do you think?
Astralis, Overpass, COG does to Astralis, Mirage.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'd agree with that. Off we go into the pistol round here. We're going to see Fugly already connected. He's being sandwiched in. He's going down straight away. So cajunb finding that first frag here for the Danes, and they're going to be capitalising on that quite well. Astralis pushing already into the B area. dupreeh is going to come under a challenge though, and Tarek, lovely shot, will go down to Device though. It's a 3 versus 2, and the HP is quite low on Cutler here. It's going to be a difficult feat to try and get into this site though, because you can see Hayes with that nade taking out dupreeh, and now it's all on Cutler. As he's got to come in pretty large on the B side. He's going to pick up that first kill though. Xyp9x going down, and now Device is in a 1 versus 1, but Cutler doesn't realise Device is rotating. He's assumed he's still pushing towards the site, and I think Device should be able to get out of here and get the bomb down fairly easily. Cutler still hasn't realised.
And Device also has a smoke to play with, so that makes it more easy to actually block off Cutler. Cutler going to be hearing the smoke pop, and therefore he's going to be rotating, but he has such a long rotation, and he has only 11 HP, so if he were to... Oh, wow.
This is such a clever play. Device, he could have just backed off and played the bomb from toilets, but instead he's going to get aggressive, and he's going to find that pistol round for the T's here. Cutler going down. That was so clever. Instead of just playing toilets and playing the bomb where he could just fake peek, he goes aggressive and finishes off Cutler before he can even expect it. And I don't think anyone was really expecting that kind of play.
And it didn't look like a set smoke in any way, so I'm pretty sure he just kind of took it on the fly and tried to abuse his smoke, because he saw there was a tiny gap, and it just worked out perfectly. There's no way Cutler is expecting that. With only 11 HP, there's no way he's winning that battle ever.
Definitely true. Of course, you couldn't really see through the corner there. And Astralis going for a light buy. They're going to be picking up 2 SMGs against the force buying CLG players, but this might work in the favour for them. Obviously, we do see 3 armoured players on CLG. 2 of them have picked up scouts, so these SMGs are going to be great against the non-armoured scout players. Obviously, JDM and Cutler there. So this could be pretty good for Astralis here. They've of course got 3 rifles to support their habit here with the SMGs. And Fugly is going to open up the round with a kill onto dupreeh there over in toilets. But he's very low HP, and he's going to be backing off. And I don't think Astralis are going to be the team to let him get away with this.
Xyp9x definitely looking for him, and Fugly actually willing to take the fight. He is going to be getting taken out here at the long area, and that obviously opens up a bit more of the map for Astralis, who now find a second actually with Karrigan taking down JDM on the A bomb site. So rotation is going to be coming in, and if Astralis were to commit to the B bomb site now, they're going to be just meeting a single player who also is playing in a passive position, so that might be the best choice, but it is not going to be the choice that they're going to be making right now.
But Cutler, he's going to be spotting out the push here as soon as they converge over onto the A site. He's got to peek right. He does land that first bullet though, so Device is already low HP, and that's the rifle. The AK there damaged on Device. Karrigan's going to receive a wallbang as well, so Cutler's making some serious work here over on the A site. The rotate should be coming in shortly though, and you can see the flank from CT coming around from toilets now, and Astralis are going to be pushing onto this A site. Cutler's going to be the first to fall for the CTs, and Hayes and Tarek are left alive, but the flank from Tarek is going to go noticed as by Xyp9x, and he will be finished off too, leaving just Hayes. But in an unfavourable position with the scout here, the bomb is planted for toilets, and all of Astralis are playing the bomb here, so not so much aggression post-plant, which is good good call for the Danes. It seems like Karrigan's just going to finish off that round onto Hayes there, so 2-0 up for the Danes.
Yeah, and it's actually quite nice that they're just playing the bomb here. Hayes had a head armor and a scout, and saving that into the 3rd round can actually be a bit of a feat from him. It's nice to have a head armor and a scout, and in a 3rd round, where the T's don't really have the best equipment, we see actually dupreeh deciding just to go with a pistol here. He could be able to do some damage, and yet Astralis are still expecting him to actually push the site, and they end up taking the frag with ease.
Yeah, dupreeh only with $1,500. I'm not sure if he would have dropped a rifle or something that round, of course, because oh no, of course not. They say 4 weapons, but yeah, not having enough to really buy up, not going to be worth it, of course, up against these full ecoing players. But even if just brought out by CLG, and Astralis are just going to take advantage of this and capitalise and run straight onto the B site here. But we're going to see a good position from Tarek and Hayes. They're both jumped up towards the box. Astralis going to be realising this though. dupreeh is going to pick up a double kill. Device landing one as well, and Fugly and Cutler are left to fall shortly after, but they're going to be the rotating A players. So really the positions are not going to be more than favourable. Cutler will land a 1-tap there over from upper, so that's securing Karrigan, but the bomb is down in the favour of Astralis, and at this point there's no way CLG will be able to retake this.
Should be just an easy clean-up. dupreeh with just the pistol has actually managed to pick up 3 kills, and that's what you can do with a pistol in a round versus no armor players. Now Fugly is willing to take the fight here, and he's actually looking for dupreeh, who's very, very low. He can't quite connect the shots though, and he is not going to be finding anything now. We bring him up on the screen, and he is going to be taken out just at the second of the switch. But he was looking for the frag quite a long time on dupreeh, and had he just landed a single bullet, he would have gotten it. Yeah. But could manage to take him out. That would have been, you know, the pistol is not probably one dupreeh would be rebuying, but the head armor is $1,000, so a bit of economic damage could have been done, and he kind of missed his chance to do so.
Exactly, and we're going to see the full buy coming out from CLG. Still no kit on the CT side or an AWP, but the same is going to be said for Astralis there. Obviously, but no AWP is going to be taken on device so far, and Karrigan is going to be finding some aggression here over towards B long, taking out Zipex, and supported by Hayes over on the side. dupreeh's going to fall as well. This has shattered Astralis, but they're the exact kind of team that will be able to come back from this kind of deficit. device trying to look for this refrag over to Tarek, and he's going to spot him out though, but he doesn't want to give away too much information, of course. Being the only player towards B at the moment, Karrigan backed off and trying to retrieve it. He can't find it though from Zipex there. Instead, device probably going to be going back to join this bomber here, going up towards the A site. He's all the way up in courtyard. That's cajunb right now, and Astralis haven't realised the triple stack from B, and luckily they are going to make an electric call to rotate over towards A, but obviously Zipex, not Zipex, sorry, Tarek with his position is going to be able to rotate very fast over from B upper there, of course.
Yeah, and so there are actually 3 players on the A-bomb side. It's going to be hard for the T's. They can't really find any easy frags, and if Cutler keeps playing the info game like he is right now, without an AWP, it's really hard to take him down when he's just jumping on this truck, and that's definitely going to be a thorn in the sides of Astralis for now.
Yeah, Cutler just holding this off, but the push is going to be initiated. Karrigan will open up the round for the T's, so now they've got a little bit of a chance to get onto the site, but the rotate is already in. All 5 players are coming out, and Hayes is also going to get that refrag onto Karrigan there. So the bomb still isn't down, and the time is ticking low, 25 seconds, but wow, JDM and Hayes both step up massively there, and Astralis will fall to their knees.
I think Astralis played the site a bit too late there. Well, not late in the round, but it was kind of... It was going too slow. They get the first frag and they don't really accelerate off of it, and they don't really make another decision. So CLG rotate pretty much every single player around. I think what they might have been looking for was to get that first frag and then hoping that someone would be pushing through the connector and trying to flank and get a free kill by being aware of that. But it never came, and I think that's why they stood and waited for so long. But yeah, I mean, a case could be made for them to, well, have taken another decision and gone to the B-bomb site instead. Would have maybe been the better choice, of course, since so many players had rotated. But it's a bit hard to know while you're sitting in the round and rotating 4 players onto a single site when you just get a single frag. That's quite unusual.
Yeah, but Astralis obviously going to be on buy here. dupreeh will pick up that first frag, so that's already going to be Hayes falling for the CTs, and still no AWP on the CTs, but device has managed to pick one up himself, so he's going to be entering towards the B site right now, which is good. He's waiting for the peak, of course, from Tarek that he was playing in the previous round, but Tarek now is going to be playing towards the back of the B bomb site here, and also over on A, Fugly's pushed up in an aggressive position outside connector, so this is great from CLG, because if Astralis don't commit to this B site now and they try and rotate back towards A, he's going to catch them on the cross through connector over to the A site. And Cajun, I love this boost. He's just trying to spot for information. They can at least get some kind of idea of how many players in CLG are going to be playing towards the B site, and they can see at the moment no one here over on B. Tarek is of course going to be playing it, but they have no idea of that. And you can see Cutler is going to be rotating in, but JDM does find the first frag for the CTs. Him going to be supported by Fugly, taking down the lurk there. Karrigan being finished off over on A, and now Astralis, knowing the flankers coming in, are going to be committing to this B site. 20 seconds left on the clock. They have to get down to it. Smoke will go out, and Zipex is going to be planted. This is a very open plant here. We can go for short and long. This is great for the base. The smoke wall is going to be holding up CLG to try to retake this, but they just don't want to overpeak. Cutler is going to take down Cajun with that Molotov, and the nades are still flying in from CLG. They've still got a full set there over on JDM, so this should be good for the retake. And 3 players against 4 make that 2 as JDM floors Zipex, and dupreeh and device are going to step up. Both a kill each, but now it's all on device here, holding off from short. He's going to be in a 1 versus 2, and he doesn't realise that they're already going to be ready to get this defuse in. Smoke goes out on the bomb. He's going to have to peek this one. It's going to get so close to this. The time's almost running out. He's going to go down, and JDM is going to secure that kill. Cutler finding the defuse as well, and CLG taking a second round on the board, so finally forcing Astralis into eco.
I think Xypix maybe would have been better off actually falling back instead of staying pretty much on top of the bomb there. He was trying to play the pillar area, and they had the wall of smokes up. He could have just fallen back into a bit of a more safe position, but instead he went for some aggressiveness. I think partly it was because he didn't know whether or not they had any grenades to work with, but he kept getting flashed, and then it does get quite hard to get anything from that round. But Device, unfortunately, not landing the shot through the smoke, and then ends up costing him the round completely.
JDM, as you saw, they're going for that early pick on the CLG side, and not going to land anything so far. Fugly playing a repositioned place in toilets here. He's going to be holding more far back, so this is going to allow him to run back towards the A site if, of course, they do get aggressive, which they are going to do so here. He's going to be spotted out, but this smoke is going to avoid Astralis from pushing too aggressively on his position. He doesn't need to worry about the smoke as much now as toilets, and JDM, talking about toilets, he's just holding off in here right now. There's still a player outside long, so he's got to try and find this pick before backing off, but he's got a fast trade and Device going to be going for that first peak. They've got that information. You can see there's obviously a T pushing on, that's going to be dupreeh over on long just to activate that first frag for Astralis after spotting out JDM over in toilets, and that was a bit of a misplay from JDM. Unlucky there, he just got caught out. He didn't realise that dupreeh was going to be playing very well with Device there, trying to find that flank kill on long, and now Astralis is going to be heading towards the A site, and this is a good call. We're only going to see 3 players from CLG, but actually, maybe not the best call in the world. Tarek is going to be playing for retake on the B bomb site. He's going to be solo here. Xypix, meanwhile, is also pushing on to B, so Astralis can make this call that is completely clear once Xypix clears it here on the lurk.
And what we can see is that Tarek is playing passively, and he's only watching short. So Xypix has already moved on to the B bomb site, and Tarek has no clue. So the B bomb site has been cleared, and Tarek is in fact actually rotating up towards the A bomb site once again. Now going back to the B bomb site, which has just received the bomb on the bomb site. But Cutler and Hayes taking out one each, and then cajunb returns quickly, takes out their team member Fugly, and now into a 3 versus 3 retake. The CTs far from the bomb site, and now far from winning this round. Xypix is going to be taking out the first and then the second, and now it's all left to Cutler, who is just going to be trying to save his rifle here, as there really is no point of actually trying to go for this retake now.
But Astralis with the perfect play going onto the B bomb site. Xypix completely clearing it and allowing Karrigan to rotate with the bomb was such a good call from Astralis there, and obviously Cutler's not going to be able to get anything out of this round. He has to go for this save surely, or at least play for exits. As you can see, Xypix might be exiting out connector there, but round going to Astralis now. They have, of course, not been forced into another eco, so that's good for them, and we will see another bite coming out from the T's here. But CLG, they're stuck in a bit of a deficit here, not a lot of economy to work with. They are going to probably be going for the eco. JDM taking that AWP, which, despite a lot of people would argue this, it's going to be a good decision, obviously, as he can rebuy his armor there. And oh, we are going to see a force actually from CLG, so this is interesting. They don't want to be pushed into an eco, which is understandable really, because you know, after one more eco, they'd only have about $4,000 with the $1,900 loss bonus there, so that's not a whole lot to buy, so they're going to make a risk in trying to completely reset Astralis and go for this buy round again. But dupreeh's going to open it up with a shot onto JDM, so that's the AWP out of the hands of the CTs there, and that's pretty much the star player from CLG, completely dropped to his knees, and Hayes going to attempt to retrieve this AWP, but you can see it's just going to be a player holding it. Xypix playing this perfectly, not allowing them to secure this AWP on the CT side, and sadly, he's going to give it away as the flash comes in from CLG. So nice pop flash and nice teamwork there from the Americans.
Xypix going to be just putting a bit of a flash over to the B bomb site, but COG once again aggressively pushed actually into the toilet area here towards A, and Device might just be walking into a trap, but in fact it is him who's going to be winning this duel, and now Cutler looking for the battle, and he is not going to be winning it. Device going to be just taking him down with 2 quick headshots in succession, and now Tarek and Hayes, the last 2 standing, and if they were to pull off this round, it would just be a disaster for Astralis.
Definitely so, and Hayes is going to be holding that AWP from up. He will pick out that first kill onto Cajun, but he's only dropping down, meaning Tarek is meanwhile alone on the site. Hayes repositioning now, perfect angle, is going to find the shot onto dupreeh, but it's a 1 versus 3, and this ace from an AWP is going to be ever so unlikely. A nice shot on the Device, he lands some damage, but Xypix is instead going to find the last frag of the round there, so good shot from Astralis. They will manage to secure the B bomb site, but they're only losing 2 players in that as well, so now CLG are up on the eco, which is not going to be good for the Americans here. They should be able to buy up next round. They'll be getting a $2,400 loss bonus, of course, if they do choose to buy. But actually, instead, being very preemptive here, we can see CLG obviously are going to be buying up now. This is a very, very interesting decision. What do you make of this?
Yeah, they had a lot of questionable buys yesterday, and I think they're just going to be they're keeping on doing this. They buy up too often, in my opinion, and Tarek is already dropping low. Fugly has also taken a bit of damage, but COG are not really having a lot of luck with these aggressive toilet pushes. It's not really so much a push as it is, going for aggressive map control. They get a lot of map control, but they don't get anything from it. The first time they did it, they got a frag. Everyone rotated to the A-bomb site, and then the B-bomb site was open. The second time here, both players get caught out, and they just put their teammates in a very horrible position. And at the same time, when they lose a single player on A, it just seems that COG have a tendency to rotate every single player over there. So if Astralis can read this, they can definitely abuse this, and COG need to start adapting before this game runs out of their hands. They're already, with only 2 rounds on the CT side, the favored side, on Overpass, with Astralis picking up the other 5.
Yeah, and it seems like the B push is going to be initiated. Astralis all pushing on a monster here. 3 players going for this. Hayes has to pick up something massive, and he won't only get a dink there. Zipex being put down to 9 HP, but cajunb going to be supporting his teammate, and dupreeh also chiming in. JDM will be dropped. Another rotate is coming in, but Fugly and Tarek is still on the site. Fugly has potential. He could run through the smoke, but the flank is coming out from Karrigan. He's going down as well, and now Cutler and Tarek are going to have to do something absolutely crazy to pick up anything out of this round. Cutler is going to be going for the elected save, which I think is going to be the good decision, but Astralis, 2 players are low. It's definitely doable, but I think Cutler's realised his limits here. Astralis is not going to be peeking this bomb here, and you can already see Device, I think that is, going for, sorry, not Device, Karrigan going for that flank here. He's all the way over in long, so he'll be able to catch off Cutler if he has enough time just to push towards the site. I don't think he's going to spot him out, though. I don't think there's enough time left on the clock.
It's good positioning by Cutler, not to try and run to the other side of the map. If he just stays here, he's going to be surviving the bomb, and he's going to be surviving the terrorists, I'm sure. Now, I want to kind of highlight the fact that Astralis are doing a very good job at taking bomb sites, and as soon as they get them, there's basically no way of the CTs ever retaking the bomb site. They're very good at shutting out their opponents here, and they're very good at getting the kills so quickly that the rotates are not coming in time, and so we're seeing Cutler, I think he's saved 3 times now in the space of 8 rounds. I mean, that's just a dominant way of taking a bomb site and then having afterplants that just totally scares off the opposition.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues with the Americans here. Confidence is obviously a massive thing. Knowing that the EU players do tend to have a bit of an edge, obviously, for whatever reason that may be, you do see EU players obviously shine far more over NA. So, as you mentioned, Cutler having to save again, and he's going to have the only rifle in this round for CLG. Rest are going to be on a full eco, not even a pistol brought up by the Americans, and Device peeking onto the A side. They're very confident with this. He's going to be holding, he does spot out the first player over in the pit. Going to follow up with a nade, try and do some damage, but only done over on towards the CLG player. JDM going to pick up that first kill onto Zipex here. Device still pushing into the site. His teammate dupreeh will pick up one, but the rotate is in from CLG. They've got all 5 players over in here, and this is going to be great. Cutler's going to pick up a kill, and Tarek's also dropped over in pit. It's a 2 versus 2, and Cutler, he has to land another one. He goes for the flick, but Karrigan comes out on top of that engagement, and Astralis take another round, and CLG so close, a full eco aside from the saving player, and they take out 4 of the oppressing Danes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great round by COG, coming from the fact that they, had just limited guns to work with, limited utility to work with, and yet they get so many kills. But what I think is actually really great, and what kind of just shows the difference in skill level from the 2 teams here, is how Astralis, they just kept trading. Whenever one of them would go down, instantly the guy on the bomb site would be traded, and that ended up, winning Astralis the round. So either, I wouldn't really say it's actually COG over-peaking in any of the situations here, but Astralis is just very good at kind of utilizing the body system, and therefore, as soon as COG get the first rank, they just get killed, and there's really no way of coming back. When you don't have any flashes as well, you can't go for any kind of aggressive peaks and try to get just a player who's kind of out of position. So Astralis definitely kind of... They're playing it well, considering the fact that COG don't have much to work with and much to throw with.
It's definitely true, and we're going to see an AWP on either side here now. So JDM and Device obviously going to be picking it up for either side, and we can see Astralis, they're being very heavy towards this B site so far this half. They haven't actually gone for too much towards A, and when they have, it's usually not gone too great, apart from obviously the anti-eco they had near the beginning of the round, straight after the pistol, and the smokes will be holding in over towards the A site here. Push has been initiated, all 5 players of Astralis completely rushing this. Tarek is going to have to hold this down with Hayes here as the rotate comes in fast, but not fast enough. Hayes jumping on top of the box. Tarek is going to get a good wall bang through the side of the pillar there. Astralis are going to have to hurry up and get on the site. The time is ticking down. Hayes, great position. He's going to drop the bomb on dupreeh. And now Astralis are struggling. 23 seconds left. Hayes is just going to be doing so much damage. He does go down in the end to cajunb though. And now Xyp9x also chiming in with 1, 2 versus, make that a 1 versus 3. Cutler, again, being the man left alone for CLG. Astralis have completely turned this around, and as you said, instant trading is going to catch Cutler alone in this situation, caught in the back of Graffiti here. Bomb will go down with only a second left to spare, and a perfect pop flash is going to keep him held back for a few more seconds. They know his position, and 3 guys are ready to take him out. He will go for the wall bang, so much damage, but Xyp9x coming out on top, and that was perfect right there. Hayes, great position on top of the site, picks up a nice double kill, drops the bomb. Extremely good play by him. Tarik also getting one, but Astralis, as soon as Hayes does his work and tries to drop onto the site to, you know, hide in the smoke, secure the bomb, whatever his plan was there, Astralis, instant trade, and then the round just goes back in their favour. Just double trade, Tarik and Hayes going down, and then obviously we just see Cutler stuck alone again. Yeah,
and we also saw a very nice pop flash through the smoke there, and Xyp9x is making a very good decision of pushing it. Now, I don't actually think it's COG playing poorly, it's just Astralis playing out of their minds right here. They're playing every single situation so well, and COG, there's really no stopping them right now, so all they can hope for is some individual skill to pull them through these rounds.
JDM should be caught out here. He will be dupreeh finding that first frag of the round, and Tarik does get a nice deagle shot onto device here over on long, but he hasn't managed to secure the gun. Instead, going to have to back off, and Cutler's really got the only equipment for this round, picking up a scout for the CT side. A bit of a quasi-buy here. They got a couple of pistols. Obviously, their scouts are fairly hefty investment from the CTs, but not too much is going to be coming of it just yet. Cutler's got a nice boost over towards the A site. You can see over on the X-ray over there, and Astralis, meanwhile, are going to be heading up towards long with the bomb. So this is going to be walking into the trap that Cutler set up, but he's watching towards short. He's not watching the right angle right now. So that's going to be an unlucky call for the CTs. And it'll be interesting to see if they spot him out in time, or if he's just going to get mowed down with his teammate boosting Tarik there, obviously. And they're going to be checking the wrong side. cajunb is ready for this. He's getting ready to push out. He looks the wrong angle, and now he's going to find the equipment. They're separated. He finds the first one onto Cutler, so the scout is out of their hands, but Tarik is also coming in with a deagle, and he's playing this spot Existence was playing yesterday, and he was doing so well in it. So I definitely think Tarik has got some serious potential to do some magic here. He's still alive. Hayes is going to be spotted out, but Tarik, he's going to be missing the shot. He drops the bomb, but instant trade from Astralis. Xyp9x is going to pick up that kill, and Tarik drops Hayes last alive now in a 1 versus 3. cajunb is the only one that is going to be able to one-shot, of course, without the headshots here, but dupreeh is playing a perfectly close angle towards the bin there. It should be impossible for Hayes to get out of anything. Now the bang is going to come in, so that's just capitalising on his position there. And Hayes will land one onto dupreeh, but there's still no kit, no armour, and he has secured an AK-47 for himself now.
It might be an idea just to save this, and he is playing a very passive position. If he doesn't get away soon, though, he's not going to be surviving the bomb as he doesn't have armor, so he needs to also bear that in mind. It does look like he's going to be trying to make his way away from the bomb site now, and I think that's a very, very nice decision from him. Unfortunately, Tarik can't get more from that round. I'm not sure, did he shoot the guy planning the bomb, or did he kind of jump the gun? Because it would have been pretty nice if he had shot the bomb planner.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He did, but he missed the first shot. Because the models are still a bit weird when you go for the planting, the hitboxes. He was aiming at the head, and it's actually a lot of it, you do see issues with client-side and server-side connections when it comes to planting hitboxes. Still not completely solved by Valve, but he tries to shoot for his head. The first shot doesn't go through, bomb gets planted, he kills him as soon as he stops planting, and just a second too late. And not really his fault, of course. He couldn't assume that it was going to be a 1-league there, so unlucky for Tarik. But yeah, as you said, if he got the bomb, it would have been a huge round.
Yeah, it's more because there was such limited time, and I kind of assumed that he did it before the bomb planner made it to the site, but that seems to not have been the case. Now JDM going to be dropping low already. He gets a bit of AWP damage from device, and so far JDM has actually been pretty anonymous, and I think that might be why COG are struggling here. They kind of need to get some of these first franks, and so far throughout these 11 rounds that we've seen already, I don't really think they've had more than 2 first franks in total, and so, you know, it does get quite hard when you're constantly at a numerical disadvantage. When you have an AWP as well, you should be going for some first strike. JDM is going for it. He is going to get it as well, so that's cajunb dropping, and that does make it a bit easier for him and his comrades.
Exactly so, and Tarik, meanwhile, with the other AWP, of course, over towards the B site, going to be challenging Xyp9x, but Xyp9x is actually just getting out there alive. Tarik getting flashed out, and of course, the early advantage for CLG is good, and it's also better that Astralis didn't instantly capitalise on that and get the trade frag as they have been doing. Although, well, they may be great getting onto the bomb sites and getting that refrag later in the round. the instant trade gives a bit of confidence to CLG, but we're going to see some aggression from Cutler here, like really question this. Him getting so aggressive is going to mean if Karrigan flashes through the smoke, which he will do over on the A site, he's going to be back down to a 4-on-4, so CLG maybe with a bit of a misplay there, but Cutler's going down and Device is now activating the push for the terrorists, finding Fugly and JDM falling as well, so Hayes and Tarek last alive, and again, what are we going to be seeing from the Americans here? A save. A save,
once again, but they do save the AWP, and I mean, we saw JDM pretty much the only guy who actually, well, he was the only guy who got a kill in this round, and I don't think any other kills are going to be coming in except if CLG want to actually hunt these, which I don't think is a good decision. But it seemed like they kind of needed the AWP on more rounds, but they just haven't really been able to utilize the AWP when they've had it in their hands, and there's just a big difference in experience here on the two teams, where Astralis, they lose their first player but still end up winning the round so comfortably here. Hayes does take down one, but they're not going to get much from this, and actually the AWP is dropped. I'm not sure if Hayes manages to pick it up, and he does not, so Device with a huge play. It's, you know, one of those plays where it doesn't really change the outcome of the round at all, but it changes the outcome of the, you know, future of this half, and Device dropping the AWP, they do have to rebuy it, and that's $5,000 that they're going to be spending on that, approximately, of course. You
can see, of course, Tarek hasn't got a rifle now. He hasn't got anything. So you can imagine they would have rebought an AWP anyway, but Tarek would have had the saved one. So that's going to be a huge problem for CLG coming into this round. They're already at a deficit, and not having, you know, their key rifle is going to be an extremely large one for the CTs here. And Astralis going to be getting the first frag into the round. Karrigan just peeking, just running straight through that Molotov over towards short and taking the first frag onto Hayes there. So just completely aggressive here. And CLG is just going to be shut down. dupreeh pushing onto the site. So no fear, so much confidence in the man. Picking up a double kill. And now 2 players remain on the site, but Cutler's going to be finished off, leaving just Fugly trying to rotate in through CT. But we're up into one of the last rounds of the half, and I'm not sure if he's even going to bother trying to go for this now. He's got to save it and take it into the next round. And this is just horrible for CLG. We really thought they would have something coming into this, but it's just proving that Astralis are the best overpass team this tournament. Maybe not to Dignitas, actually, as you mentioned, but at least we haven't seen that matchup, and we won't see that matchup, sadly.
Yeah, sadly. Now, I like how you said that he might not even bother, and I think that's a quite nice way to describe it. Fugly, it must really be heartbreaking to constantly have to retake bomb sites. There's not a lot of pushes on the A bomb site these last few rounds, but dupreeh not spotting him just yet. He's still looking for him. He's just jumping all over the place. He does get taken down in the end, but the information gathered here is worth way more than dupreeh's life in this scenario, and therefore Fugly should be found, which is way more important. But something that's also very important is the fact that he lands that shot on Device and prolongs the inevitable for just a few more seconds until cajunb comes in and takes him down. Now, I think, you know, from what we've seen throughout this tournament, I'd call Dignitas the best Overpass team. They've had the best performances on Overpass, but I would argue that if you were looking away from this tournament, a team like Astralis would be my favorites to take a map on Overpass. They have been solid on this map for a long, long time, pretty much since it was originally introduced into the map pool.
Yeah, and of course, Astralis having so much money in the previous round allowed them to go for that chase there to finish off Fugly. So really no reason not to go for it in that situation. They won't have to eco. Only 2 rounds left of the half, and you can see there's players on 8k, 10k. They have no issues with their economy right now, whereas CLG on the other side of the spectrum, 5 rifles here, of course, so got a bit of a buy put together, but no kits, and the nades are seriously limited, as well as the lack of an AWP on the CT side, which is of course very important for Overpass at least, and especially for CLG. They rely so much on JDM picking up those first frags to secure them some kind of advantage, and we're going to see Device here with the AWP instead on the T side. But I'm not sure if Tarek is going to be ready to double peek this with Hayes. They're going to be going for the double peek. Both looking like they want to commit to this fight. And oh, Device zooming out at the wrong time is going to go down there to Hayes. And now it's back down to a 3 versus 5. And CLG, they can't throw away this round. They have to commit to it. And Hayes is going to pick up that first frag. Nice trade there by Tarek. Perfect peek by the CT. And cajunb is last alive in a 1 versus 4. They're pushing towards the site. Will go down there. JDM finishing off that round. So CLG with a very nice round there for the second last round of the half. They obviously need to secure that. It's not going to affect Astralis in terms of economy. A full buy will be coming out, of course, but still nice impact there by the Americans.
Yeah, and it's about time that they start having an impact on this game. It's 11-3, and they are on the CT side, which usually is more favored at this tournament, actually. I think we've been seeing the T side consistently actually putting up more rounds than the CT side, which is a bit unusual, I'd say, but sometimes, you know, the meta can start changing. And what I really like from G2 is that Existence has this very common one-way smoking connector, and I haven't seen any other teams busted out, but it's actually very, very powerful. And it would have given Fugly the kill more easily, but he is still going to be taking down cajunb. And once again, it's a first frag for COG. So now they have actually had a few rounds in a row where they're going to be getting the first frag, and it just totally has changed how the rounds have played out.
Oh, but look at the minimap. COG are now playing this perfectly. You can see all the players from their aggressive positions have rotated all the way back to the bomb sites. They're playing very deep in the site, and they're not going to be aggressively peeking Astralis anymore, which is exactly the reason Cutler went down earlier against Karrigan when he got the when JDM of course got the first pick a few rounds ago, and then they just lost the advantage as far as holding out from the bomb side. Oh, this timing from Hayes over on B is going to go down, but the A push is still being initiated. Device and Zipex are going to be lost alive, but that's completely on the other side of the map, and that wall bang over on B. Zipex lands a shot onto Tarex, a lovely aim by him, but now it's a 2 versus 2, and time is ticking down for Astralis. They have to commit to a site, but this position from Fugly over on long, you can see Device moving towards it. I'm not sure if he's going to realise this. This could be great. We have seen Device pushing up long and checking this angle multiple times now, but if we'll check it in the one key moment, we don't know. And they're going to be rotating the players over, so this is a great call from CLG. Both players over on the A site. Fugly is going to have such a great position. The pop flash comes out, the Smolotov as well, and Fugly lands that shot onto the Device, so the time is ticking away and the bomb's down. Zipex has to go massive, and he's going to start doing that. JDM running, and now Fugly going to be trying to retrieve it. Oh no! Zipex is going to land the shot onto Fugly, so Astralis just absolutely tearing apart CLG. There was no way in hell I thought Fugly was going to be able to throw that round away, but so unlucky in the timing, and with only 10 seconds left, you know, Zipex had to go for that, and he will come out on top, going very strongly for the Danes this half, 16-6.
Yeah, holy moly, what a round by Sipnix. The first, well, not the first kill, but the wallbang kill was definitely also very impressive. Now, of course, it's much easier to sit here and kind of point to the fact that, you know, Device had a couple of grenades, and he could have actually cleared out the corner. They must have known that Fugly was slightly low, and so a single grenade in that corner would have killed him off, and that would have meant that the round would have been much easier. But it is obviously a lot easier for me to say.
Yeah, I'm sure Device would have checked it, because that Molotov and that flash coming in from JDM was just absolutely punishing him, and very nice try by the CLG players, but Zipex, you know, with more experience, just came out on top. And you can't put that down to the fault of CLG. They didn't really do anything wrong in that situation. JDM maybe a bit over peaking towards short, but he had no information. He could have come from behind for all he knew. So again, you can't really blame anyone. Obviously, we have the spectator view, so it makes it easier. But yeah, you can't blame CLG there.
No, of course not. I agree, but you could, as JDM, play play the information game instead. Just standing here jumping, it's almost impossible for Sipnix to land that shot, and it gives JDM so much information. And as you say, it's information that he was lacking. So as dupreeh is doing right now, he could have done the same, and I think the outcome of the round would have been drastically different.
I just think they obviously assumed that with the amount of time left, they wouldn't be able to do it. But dupreeh, look at that one tap. Is going to pick up pace instantly going into this round. And now Device also chiming in. Device is going to pick up a double kill over from the back of the site. And dupreeh is still not being dropped by Cutler and Fugly, who is still yet to push onto the site. Fugly finds that one flag onto Device. So that's the trade kill. And now dupreeh also coming in with one. And this is going very well for the Danes. 13-3 now. The pistol round will be secured with only one death from Device there. And they will be going towards the win here. CLG are going to be at a serious issue in this point in time.
Yeah. CLG, only 3 rounds on the T side. And it's just, I mean, it's just been completely in favor of Astralis pretty much since the beginning, of course. I think CLG actually picked up the pistol round and then the consecutive round after.
Yeah, the consecutive. No, Astralis actually.
Oh yeah, okay. So they got the first buy round and then the next one, but since then it's just been pretty much all Astralis. CLG have picked up one pretty unimportant round, looking from how the scores are at this point in time, and so CLG, there's obviously still a way back into this game, but I think the only real way back into this game would be on a different map, as they are quite far behind now, 13-3 in favor of the Danes, as has been said a couple of times here.
Yeah. And we're going to see, obviously, CLG going for this important force buy. They've got to try and make something of this round. Even if they don't have too many kills and don't win it, they need to have some kind of impact on the economy of Astralis. And that's going to be their attempt here. You can see by picking up these deagles, they're going to be going for these long-range shots, which Astralis might not be too great at. This P90 and this MP9 obviously being a bit of an issue, but the close-up positions could also complement the playstyles found with these weapons. And Astralis going to be backing off towards the site here, and this is a good cool late round, allowing CLG to push even further into toilet, but we will find the first frag going in the favour of Device. He will land that on Tarek now, and now they've got to hurry up and refrag it. They're not going to do so. 30 seconds, and CLG still haven't committed to a bomb site now. You can see they're going towards the A site, but I think they're just going because they're running out of time. Hazed! One D gone to Device there over on long. He's going to go for a second one, and his teammate trying to support him, but JDM will drop, and now Cutler is the only one alive, and a 1 versus 4 with 10 seconds left. It's not going to be meant to be, and now CLG going to be on the eco at the most important round, 14-3.
Knowing CLG, they might actually force up on this.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also argue it's not that bad of a decision to make. They actually are going to be doing that right now. So they do force it up, and I mean, I think while I kind of criticize them a bit for making poor decisions in terms of force buys, I think this is actually a good decision. You're not going to bring it back from 15-3. You need some sort of buffer. You're not going to go 12 straight rounds. It's just not going to happen. So the only way back into this game is if they actually pick up this round on the force buy.
Yeah.
And if they don't, of course, next round will also be some sort of a weird force buy. But if they don't pick up this round, there is no way back into this game, I'd say.
That's definitely true. Of course, you know, next round they're going to have basically nothing to work with. They'll have $2,400. That's nothing. And these pistols are going to be all so important for CLG here. But Astralis, look, they've really got so much confidence now. They're just going for the full rifles. Apart from P90 on Karrigan, not going to worry by that. That's a perfectly useful gun, though. It's not like an MP9. I'm sure they realise that CLG will be going for the force fight, which is more than likely here. And yeah, Astralis not going to have any issues with their buys here. 4 kits as well as plenty of nades. You can see Device and Zipex still have almost a full nade set, smoke and 2 flashes here. So CLG going to be outside the A site at the moment, bomb and tow as well. All 5 players here. There's no point setting up some kind of lurk on this kind of round. They've just got to commit to some dupreeh. He's going to be pushing straight through the smoke, get that first kill to Peggy. And now JDM does get that trade kill. Cajun's still alive on the site. Hayes going for this jump. He is going to spot out one player. That's going to be information call for his teammates, but Cajun is still going crazy at the back of the site. He's picked up a double kill, and now the flank coming out from Zipex is going to shut down the last as Karrigan finishes off Hayes from Bank, and Astralis going to be securing match point. And now we're pretty much, I think we can safely call GG. CLG won't have enough to buy. They're going to have to be stuck again on these pistols, and as we can see from the last 2 rounds, the pistols have not been treating them well.
COGG.
CLGG.
I like how Astralis actually play that. They played 3 players on A. They were kind of alternating between who was kind of anchoring A there. And what they did was they smoked off the same position 3 times in a row, and that was just where the terrorists were. So they just got stopped in their push so many times, and that can be very, very heartbreaking and can really you know, mess up your mental game when you're preparing for a rush 3 different times and it just never comes in. But a rush that is going to be coming in now is the one that Karrigan is doing his best to stop, but Cutler is in fact going to be stopping Karrigan instead, and cajunb and Sipnix will go on each. Then Cutler takes down cajunb, and dupreeh with a Kobe and a headshot to the dome of Tarek is going to be ending this game. So 16-3, a very, very convincing map win.